Question: did Lucifer rebel and get judged before Adam was created? Many Bible colleges and preachers teach this. Now we know from the Bible Lucifer, an angel, was a created entity. Now God separated the land and the water on day 3 according to Genesis chapter 1 verses 9 through 16. 9 through 13. The Bible says the angels rejoiced when all this happened. So the only sensible conclusion was he created the angels on day 1 or day 2. Remember, everything was created in 6 days when everything was good. It was good here also, so Lucifer could not have fallen yet. Think about that. Think about something else. Satan is an angel who still has access to heaven. He did in the book of Job. Let's take a look at that. Job chapter 1 verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. Beginning in Genesis chapter 2, God had finished creating all the hosts of heaven, including Lucifer, who became Satan. So, listen to me carefully. During the Garden of Eden, Satan rebelled against God when he lied to Eve and wanted to be their God. He became Satan, or as the Bible calls him sometimes, that old serpent. You see, he lied to Eve. Therefore, during his life with Eve, he desired to be God or above God. Eve disobeyed God and then talked Adam into disobeying God. This is when Lucifer fell and the sin of mankind started. Remember, land came on the scene in verse 9, but Adam didn't come along until verse 26. So, Satan could have had access to the land before Adam come along. Think about that. I want to read you some verses out of Ezekiel chapter 28, beginning in verse 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes were prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Then in verse 14 it says, Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of stones of fire. Genesis chapter 1 verse 9. Genesis chapter 1 verse 9. And God said, Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. Keep this in mind. Dry land appeared in verse 9, and man appeared in verse 26. Now look at verse 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of waters called he seas, and God saw that it was good. You see, Lucifer failed when he lied to Eve in the garden and desired to be God over Adam and Eve. Then God made the serpent to crawl on his belly, the lowest of all creatures after the fall. The serpent, a representative of Satan, originally was a beautiful creature until he wanted to be God. And Satan, according to the Bible, could transform himself into an angel of light. Look at verse 11. And God said, Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. God saw that it was good. Verse 13, and the evening and the morning were the third day. So, in the first chapter of Genesis, everything was good. As far as man is concerned, everything started going south first in the Garden of Eden, and then by some corrupt men that we will see in our next lecture.